This is WPBF News 25, where you always get your weather first.
Now, from wedding dresses to happy marriages. Ask anyone who is in a marriage and they will tell you it takes work. Nearly half of all marriages today end in divorce. Some couples say they're unable to keep things fresh and exciting and keep each other happy.
We have brought in author Tim Kellis, who is here to talk about his new book titled Equality, The Quest for the Happy Marriage. Tim, thanks for joining us. I understand you are not a psychologist or psychiatrist, so take us through exactly what led you to write a book on relationships.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, the first comment is, in fact, I'm kind of upgrading the psychology industry. I actually worked as a semiconductor analyst on Wall Street for over 10 years. And met this girl, thought it was the woman I was going to spend the rest of my life with. We fell in love, got engaged, argued, broke up, went to a therapist, and that didn't work, so then I decided to write a book myself. So this is my catharsis for that relationship, basically.
Take it into your own hands. Okay, so you say, so you have the answer to having the happy marriage?
Absolutely.
What is that answer?
Well, to boil it down in its most simplicity, it's conflict resolution, because without conflict resolution, you develop what are called psychic lesions, which basically means that you don't deal with the problem, and that which eventually leads to divorce. You know, if you have an intimacy problem, for example, and eventually you argue about it, you quit talking about it, it's never solved, and that becomes a psychic lesion.
So how do you solve that? I mean,
yeah, I was just going to say, for the conflict, how did you find that that's what works?
Well, the bottom line are insecurities, and insecurities are nothing more than experiences from our past, which has given us a sort of a subjective perspective. And you have to understand those insecurities in order to resolve them. And again, it's from the past that you bring into the marriage and project onto the marriage. And so when you do get into an argument, actually arguments reveal your insecurities. And if you're able to keep your discussions calm, as Martin Luther King called it, civil disobedience, you can disagree, just be civil about it. Then you can dive into those insecurities and figure out their causes.
So you kind of went back and studied other I should say trailblazers, or would you say that you did that, or you tested couples, or?
This book is a history lesson. I use basically examples throughout history, throughout the development of civilizations, to make certain points within a relationship. Again, the Martin Luther King civil disobedience. I describe Hitler going to his death underneath the bunker in Berlin to show us that we'll go to divorce, as opposed to admit that maybe being prejudiced is a bad thing. Insecurities, as it turns out, are nothing more than prejudices, which are preconceived opinions.
Tim, some interesting stuff. Thanks very much. It's all in the book there. If you'd like more information on that book, head to the website, WPBF.com, and click on the Happy Relationships link under the Scene on 25 section.